when me and my photographer felt that it was best to pull ourselves off. So, but I think my comparison to last night is really based on the fact of where we were stationed, you know, because we were kind of out of the fray of it, I guess, as you could say,
sure.
Kind of on the outskirts for the most part.
We're glad you're safe, and we thank you for your hard work down there, both tonight and last night as well. Brett. Yeah, thank you. We are hearing, by the way, we want to let you know some more breaking news. IMPD now is confirming that there has been a person shot. We don't know their condition or exactly the nature of this particular shooting, but in the downtown area at Alabama and New York, there's been a confirmed shooting there in that area. We may hear more about that from the police chief. We're standing by. We've arrived there at the scene where the chief will be delivering this briefing here. Brett, you were on the scene of that incident at Alabama and New York. Is that when
Dan,
that's when you left?
Now that you're, I mean, that is where we heard the gunshots. We were standing right there. That is where the fire was. We were right there. We were kind of at that had been Delaware and New York, and had kind of moved over to Alabama and New York. I believe actually it was New Jersey and New York, but I believe that is right next to Alabama, if I'm correct.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
We were standing at New Jersey and New Jersey and New York. Wait, yes, New Jersey and New York.
Right in that same area, not far from Mass Ave. Yeah.
Leading up to that,
no,
what was
not
happening?
far at all. There's a commissary Barber kind of right at that corner. There's a bank right there. That is kind of where we were standing. We just had saw a dumpster fire at that corner. That is actually where we were getting ready for a live shot. And the issue too with these situations, you know, we were away from the police presence, and it was kind of empty in that area. We didn't see many people, so we turned the light on for our camera. I can't see with a light, and you know, we had a water bottle thrown at us right before that, and I didn't know where it was coming from. So that's when we had decided to get out of there, and we heard the gunshots walking back. And we were right in that general area. And from what it sounded like to us, it was just kind of aimless shooting into we don't know, the air. You know, I don't want to speculate as to where the shots were being fired. Obviously, as you said, someone had been shot. So
we certainly hope
at that point, just with the number of gunshots we were hearing, we absolutely did not feel safe there.
Yeah, we're glad you're all right, and glad you're safe. Obviously, that's something we'll ask the chief about. After that shooting, I imagine people fled that area just as you did for the most part?
I mean, there really weren't many people in that area at the time. I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying. We were on the outskirts, and it was just a couple people in groups walking around. There was not a organized group or protest or something going on there. It was really just kind of a few people here and there kind of breaking into windows. We saw a man walking with a computer down Mass Ave, I believe probably from one of the, I think there's a realtor or something, you know, there's a couple of businesses there that are office buildings. So that's what we kind of saw walking down. So there really wasn't much of a crowd there. So when I'm saying the gunshots, it was more so people walking the street. We didn't see many people running away at that point.
Yeah, Brett, just now getting preliminary information from police about another shooting that they're on the scene of right now, of two people shot in the East Market Street area.
Right, Dan, this is the exact area we have been in, and that is exactly why you know, we felt it necessary to pull off. That is the exact area. It is kind of outside of where the police presence is. And we heard a number, and I'm saying I can't even give you a number, but it was there was about 2 or 3 different instances, I'd say. The first was we saw the guy who had the gun. We turned around as he was walking away, but we did hear the shots. That was at the corner of New York and Pennsylvania. That is right by 16-bit, and that is right by the Witt apartment building there. That is right by the War Memorial, just a little bit to the north of that. And that seemed to be into the air. We did not see him actually fire the weapon, but we did see a weapon and did hear the sound. So, and it was kind of in that general area is where it sounded like a number of gunshots were being fired into the distance and even kind of close to us. So,
and I can even hear sirens in the background there too.
This is exactly.
Yeah, and I'm so full transparency. I'm actually inside my apartment building, which is by chance in this area.
Right.
And so, but we have heard our building, our main lobby has been smashed. The glass is shattered. Our security guard I did see was down there, but he's just one guy, so I don't know what exactly he's able to do. There was no police in that area at all. So I've ran into a couple of the residents in the halls. They saw our camera gears. We were walking back. So we've tried to kind of, get out of that area.
And these reports that we're getting here, I mean, 2 shootings downtown, the second shooting with reports of 2 people being shot near Market Street. This is what city leaders wanted to avoid tonight. This is what